Welcome to Arcade Couch, the best place to chill with your friends and get your gaming goodness every Saturday at 6 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. I'm Ashley Hobley, and joining me today on the couch is Kieran Marchant.
Guys, I'm here. It's okay. I'm Ash.
Yep.
Where's everybody else?
Drop like flies.
Drop like
But
I got here. Like I was running from I was supposed to be here last week, and I ran in, and I'm a week behind. But I thought you guys just didn't wait for me.
No, the show's got to come out every Saturday, 6 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time.
Oh fuck! So this is a different episode than the one
This is episode 20.
Oh, let me just.
So this is going to be awkward if you haven't prepared for this one.
Okay, I'll delete some stuff I've done.
Do you want me to? Yeah.
Okay,
let me. So this week on the show, we'll be discussing Epic's new partnership.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, someone's actually going to E3.
Okay, nice. E3.
Apex has got a battle pass.
Wait, what? When did that happen?
Yeah, I know. And then me and Dylan are going to recap the Nindies Showcase.
You and Dylan are?
Yeah, he's going to pop by later.
Oh, sweet. That's exciting.
I know.
Wait, so he can he can come by and talk to you about the Nindies, but he can't be here for me.
No, yeah, I guess not.
Oh.
Scheduling, man. It's difficult. Real talk, scheduling is difficult. But let's jump into the huge news this week. I'm sure there's no way you could have missed this. Google had their conference or showcase at GDC over in America, San Francisco, finally delivering the news that sort of was not much of a secret. Well, the worst known secret.
I think everybody knew because of the whole
the worst kept secret. That's what
that's
saying.
The phrase. That's the phrase.
That's the phrase.
Well, they were pretty much testing it with Assassin's Creed Odyssey last year, right?
Yeah. So last year they did Project Steam, which was effectively trying to stream a game over the internet, and that seems to be the platform that they think is going to be the future of gaming. So it's called Stadia.
It's not.
Let's start there.
It's not a good name. It sounds like a sweetener. I think
it sounds like a lot of things.
I think there's a sugar replacement. I think it's called Stevia. Stevia. That's it.
Yeah,
it's a sugar replacement. Exactly right. It's not even a real gaming console. It is
it's a replacement. It's almost like it's. I can't believe it's not a gaming console.
Exactly. Oh my god. Yes. Yes. Get that on a t-shirt.
Yeah. Fucking hell. So yeah, pretty much they came out and showcased that their plan is that anything that runs a Chrome, you'll be able to play games over the internet.
Wow.
Is the platform they're building.
Wow.
So here, sort of the specs that they've said. At launch, Google says the service will be able to run games up to 4K at 60 frames per second with a 30 megabit per second connection, with presumably a slower speed allowing for 1080p.
But that's presuming that you have a constant connection speed.
Well, that is the most important thing, probably. You need a constant thing. Also, the platform will scale down the frame rate and graphics for internet connections below 30 megabytes per second. If you have less bandwidth, we'll give you a low resolution. Harrison told Kotaku. All Stadia games will require a constant internet connection. If your internet goes down, you can't play them.
Even though it sounds like it's doable here in Australia, I can promise you it's not doable. The thing is, so it's not getting the speeds that's going to be the problem.
It's maintaining them.
It's maintaining them and being constant, and that just isn't a thing our infrastructure is too capable of. Not just because of the infrastructure, but also because of the good old, the telcos. Because they're all fighting. Unless you're with Telstra, you kind of got problems.
Yeah. So I guess this is a good place to sort of kick off the conversation, I guess. That it's not coming to Australia at launch. Smart. Especially if how many people do you think really want 4K gaming over the internet, though? Is that really a huge demand? Should they have been advertising it at, hey, we can do 1080 at blah, blah, blah speed? Would that have been a better sell than saying, here's the top ends?
I think that's the thing, though. I think they are always going to go with the top end. I think everything goes with the top end. Because
Yes,
if you
but
think about it,
how many devices do they put? I guess any 4K TV, and
yes,
I'm assuming there's 4K monitors.
yes, there are definitely.
But they're
4K
pushing
monitors.
this device. You can play it on your iPad. You can play it on your phone.
Yeah, which is
You can play
pointless.
it on-
But the thing is, right, that people will be dumb enough to choose the 4K streaming option on these devices that won't be able to support 4K. You know what? And people are going to be, if you're listening to this show, you probably like, Kieran, this sounds like the device you want. It's all digital. It's all net-based.
Yeah.
You know? This sounds like this is your shit. And I'm like, no, I don't want, I like PCs. I like hardware. I like actually having stuff that runs it. All I want is digital licenses so that I don't have to put a disc in. I don't, and that's not because, you know what, if I lived in a place like Sweden where their internet is freaking dope, then I would
Sure.
definitely do it. Like, I'd be like, damn, hell yeah, let's go. But
Okay, so let me just point out. So I had a look at the list of top average internet speeds across the world. There is currently only 10 countries in the world that have a higher than 30 megabit per second average speed.
yeah, I could probably guess, like, not many of them probably. Because some of them are weird.
The top 10, Singapore, Sweden, Denmark, Norway, Romania, Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg, Hungary, and Jersey.
Wait.
Yes, Jersey is a country.
Oh, no, yeah. Jersey the country, not Jersey the state in America. Yes.
Yeah.
No, Jersey.
They haven't left the
Jersey cows. It's
whatever the
it's
thing.
near England. It's different.
Yep.
Yep. It's. I think this is ahead of its time, and I think because of that, it's not going
Is
to go
doomed to
well.
fail.
Yeah, like I think it's really sweet if the world had the infrastructure to support it, but so it's like giving a Tesla to a caveman,
Yeah.
but it's not charged, and you're like, here you go, here's a Tesla. There you go.
Yeah.
Can't charge it. So
Do something with it.
you can do whatever you want with it. You can't charge it up. There's no electricity. Good luck. Like, it feels like they're aiming too high, and I think aiming to have this streaming service just because it doesn't even seem like they're aiming for this to be a just like a high-end user kind of product. They're aiming for this to be a general, whoever you are, you should get this product, and as long as you've got the internet, you can stream these amazing games over it. But if your internet shit, it's pointless. So,
And if your internet's not good, then it's pointless.
yeah, like, you have to have a really solid internet. You're going to have a really solid, like, modem or router, modem/router in your house. You're going to have either, you're going to have to make sure that you've run a cable to your device, or the good modem/router has a good Wi-Fi.
Awesome Wi-Fi.
You've got a really awesome Wi-Fi for it, and also, you better hope that this this Stadia thing has a better network card than, say, the PlayStation 4. Like, the PlayStation 4's network card is...
Well, it's just working over your Wi-Fi, so...
Yeah, but it still has to connect to the network. So the thing that...
Well, I assume it'd be just whatever you're using.
No, but like the thing... So the thing inside the console that connects to the Wi-Fi...
But there is no console.
But I thought there was a console.
No, there is no console.
Is it just a controller?
Yes, there is a controller that's connected to the Wi-Fi. No, there is no console.
There's no console at all.
It's purely a platform.
I don't know where I saw that there was a little box. Okay.
There is the Chromecast thing. If you get the
right,
one,
that might be what I saw.
That might be what you thought of. If you
Okay.
get that, then any TV you can play Stadia content
That's TVs. The network capabilities of TVs can't be very good. And I've not done extensive tests on the network speeds of TVs. I guess they do stream Netflix.
I mean, clearly they believe they've got good enough for them to say, hey, we can do it on every single freaking device.
Yeah, but... You know what? Google's almost mad enough that they'll be able to pull this off. But I don't...
Will they?
I think they will try their best. I just don't see it. Yeah, it's relying too much on infrastructure that is out of their control. And
That's true.
And they haven't released information about, are you purchasing, like, is it like a streaming service like Netflix? Is it going to be purchasing the games on their stores to use, or...
I would assume it's buying piecemeal.
Yep.
So you buy the game, you can play it on the service. My other assumption is there's some sort of subscription fee.
Yeah, so you have to pay first to be able to use the service to...
Yeah.
Then, and can I use the service without the controller?
Yeah, I think, well, on everything except possibly tablets and that. So as long as you can get a controller connected to whatever you're playing on, you can use that.
Can I use it?
Because I believe they...
So, you could technically play a like on your Xbox with it?
You need Chrome.
Oh, you need Chrome, you bastards. And Chrome's almost CPU hungry as it is. Yuck,
That's
your PC's got it. If you're running that on a PC...
It's going to explode.
You're going to need to... Actually, you're going to have to uninstall a few toolbars. Few of your toolbars will have to go, mate, to be able to run it. Look, if this is what it takes to get more people accessible to PC gaming or just a different form of gaming, sure. Cool. You know, like if it's like a... if you could get the features and values of an Xbox One X without the $600 price tag, awesome. Cool.
But then if you're paying a subscription fee...
But you're paying a subscription fee, you're paying
then
more...
it's going to add up eventually.
It's going to add up eventually. You're paying more for your internet bill because you're having
You'd need to go to an unlimited plan.
Because you have to go unlimited.
Absolutely. Because if you go capped, you're going to be screwed.
You're going to smash that pretty quick. I think there's a lot of... don't know if you could... I'm pessimistic. Like, I'm really just like...
I feel like there's super optimists on one side and then there's realists like us on the other side.
Like, yeah, there's just... It's just like...
It seems a little bit too good to be true.
It's a cool idea in a bubble, but when you pop that bubble and look at everything it depends on, it's worrying. It's not something I'll be picking up.
But again, if there's one company that could pull it off, it's Google.
Yeah, exactly. Google's crazy stupid enough to do it. So...
All right, yeah. So some other facts we know about it. Again, Stadia will run on any device that has Google Chrome, including phones, tablets, PCs, and TVs. The Stadia data center PCs, where games will actually be running, will be use Linux. Data center PC specs. GPU... Oh, this is all gibberish to me, so you tell me if this is good.
Keep going.
GPU, 10.7 teraflops, 56 compute units, HBM2 memory.
There's a lot of flash words there. Like, there's a lot of, like, teraflops. Yeah. Teraflops is my favorite, like, just...
Favorite word of them.
Favorite stupid word. That's just sounds impressive. And like, it does have a... But saying it in that term is just a way of just trying to... If anybody doesn't know, like, metrics for, like, for digital storage or anything like that... teraflops just, you know, you just instantly like, oh, that must be good. Must be great. And so I'm just interested by the division of these resources between people. If, you know, is it going to be...
Are they going to have enough computers for everybody using the service? Or
how
are they splitting the service?
How's
it working?
But also, I'm going to guess this subscription service is going to have tiers of what level of subscription you want. So to like probably a 4K subscription might cost more to be able to use the 4K 120 frames setting, because that'll take up more resources and infrastructure from their system to use. I'm interested to see how it's used, but it's not
should I read these other specs? Do you think they're important?
Probably not.
Yeah,
probably not. They're there to impress tech nerds.
You hardcore people, you can look it up.
Look it up. Like it's there to impress tech nerds people, but it doesn't. The hardware's good and all, but it doesn't matter how good their hardware is if the internet is in wherever you are is shit.
So early on, releases from the newly formed first-party studio Stadia Games and Entertainment will be smaller and aimed at highlighting the platform's unique capabilities. We did learn that Jade Raymond, who left EA late last year, is heading up the first-party studio.
Mm-hmm.
She obviously was influential. I think even created Assassin's Creed. So, I mean, it's interesting.
I'm
I guess.
interested that they've got a first-party studio.
Well, they need to showcase what the technology can do. They were showcasing some stuff about water and how much better it looks on Stadia because they can use all the processing power just to focus on everything. They don't need to sort of restrict themselves in any way.
I'm interested if it's like an actual first-party studio where they're actually going to make a game, or if they're just
going to make games. It's not going to be anything AAA.
Yeah,
anything
no,
that's sort of,
it sounds like
it's going to be a bunch of tech demos. As far as
I was going to use, I was going to be nice and use the word experiences, but yeah, that's a good point. That's a good way to take demos.
Yeah. Yep. First party games will be Stadia exclusives. Most second party games will be exclusives, and the ones that aren't will have Stadia exclusive features. I don't know if you saw this. Apparently, they've they said there's going to be a Stadia state where you can save a game at some point and give it to other people.
I like that. That's interesting.
There's all these sort of share functionalities.
It's interesting, like all the functionalities they're putting into this system, like the save state forms, where it'll be really cool if your game bugs out, you'll be able to share an exact save state of that game with the developer, so then they can look. And this is the thing where, so bugs with games should be easier for them to fix. Because it's all on their own hardware, everything's in-house. Unless it's something to do with your internet connection, they should be able to fix it. Like, there shouldn't be any graphics drivers errors, there shouldn't be any RAM errors or speed errors, or like like speed errors. They should be able to fix those internally, so hopefully that'll be a good point for the system where it should run a lot better as long as your internet connection connects to it fine. And they're putting in things to entice people, but it's not enough.
Yeah. They also demoed crowd play, which essentially lets you queue up with streamers as they're playing a game. So if there's some sort of multiplayer game,
no streamer wants to do that. I'm sure there's no. Unless they put some kind of protection policy in there for the streamers, because stream sniping is such a problem that so many streamers don't want to be involved with, that it's just not going to be usable enough, or like it's not going to be used.
Sure, there's heaps of streamers that play with subs and that sort of thing.
They play with subs, but when they play with subs, they have to go through very specific measures to be able to make sure that only their subs are getting into their games, like by covering up.
Well, I assume that's what this sort of thing would
I
do.
hope so.
I
hope so. Also, the other thing that minor, I guess it comes from my point of view, is the esports side of this kind of technology is for a competitive game. Like if they were to say we're going to get Fortnite to run on this, no doubt Fortnite will end up on this software. Is there going to be what is going to be the millisecond kind of response to controls on that console? Like, are you there's so many ways that people spend money on trying to make sure their keyboard is going to be the best possible keyboard for their reaction speeds, and their mouse is going to be fine. Is this software and hardware going to be able to take advantage of that, or is there going to be lag or connection problems or anything like that?
Yep. What else? Doom Eternal has been confirmed for Stadia. So that's a pretty big game that's coming out, which implies that when's Doom Eternal due?
May.
I think some May. Yeah, so not at launch, May, because I'm pretty sure it's coming out later.
Let me get on the old Google. It's not got a release date.
Oh yeah,
2019.
Well, this is also 2019, so I assume we'll get to see something later this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a pretty big title. Bethesda obviously involved, I guess. Also, there was a bunch of Ubisoft, obviously, games. I saw a lot of Assassin's Creed throughout the presentation, which isn't surprising, obviously, with them testing
Where
out.
this is the interesting
some
point,
sort of partnership.
The interesting point is this is an off year for Assassin's Creed. So there's no Assassin's Creed game going to be coming out this year. So they're just either going to have to be porting Odyssey and Origins over to it. Are they going
I
to...
assume there would be a bunch of...
It would probably be pretty
because they need
cool.
Because apparently they need to install their own interface, the Stadia interface into their games for them to run on Stadia. So it's not going to be as simple as putting it on the Stadia store and then it running.
They have to actually incorporate it in.
Yeah. The Stadia controller is required to play games on a TV with Chromecast. Controller actually looks a lot like the mock-up that we saw circulating a while ago.
And I was annoyed that they went
extra
with
buttons.
the PlayStation position of the analog sticks. And
the correct position, yeah.
It's not.
Google has sent Stadia dev kits to
broken.
over 100 development partners. Harrison told us that the games available on Stadia at launch and shortly after were revealed in the summer. Ooh, what event during the summer could they possibly be talking about?
C9.
Yep. According to Harrison, the video game-inspired icons shown during the lead-up to the GDC presentation are not indicative of the type of games coming to Stadia and were just for fun. So, yeah. Stadia, it's a thing that is coming.
So, do we reckon... because I thought it was going to be Epic that did this, but does Stadia come in and take Sony's position at the conference?
Maybe.
Like, just
come and just be like... Why not go to the place where everybody's going to be talking about games?
Yeah, you do that. And so on another point, and I've seen this brought up in forums and in threads, do you think Sony heard about this coming and kind of didn't come to E3 this year because they didn't have any hardware or anything to show? Do you think
no, I think Sony's so focused on their own thing.
Okay.
They're not concerned about anybody.
Yep.
If anything, Xbox should be the ones worried, I assume,
definitely.
Because everybody's talking about Xbox
heading
down this road. So, Google, I think, definitely need to be at E3, and then you need to answer a lot of questions
until Xbox Game
next
Pass,
time they talk about it.
Until Xbox Game Pass is on Stadia.
No, I really don't think that's going to be a thing. Because then you'd have to assume every single game on Xbox Game Pass needs the Stadia AI.
Yeah,
UI.
they're not going to put the interface.
They're not going to go to the
that's
effort.
Fair. That's a fair point.
All
that's
that.
A fair point.
Yes,
that's a fair point. I'll give you that one.
Yep. Okay. But yes, they need to make financial statements like what are we paying, what all those sort of things. But yeah, it's certainly interesting. Google did definitely come and showed something off more than probably most people expected.
But still.
But of course, this is a company that has a long history of shutting things down if it doesn't go smoothly. So, is it going to be around?
It's not going to.
How much leeway do they give this?
2 years? And even then, I'm like, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Even then, because the problem with this is I wouldn't like to imagine the amount of money it is for them to run the hardware that they're suggesting they can run. Like how to keep it running, where like the space that it's located in, even though they've got their Google, they've got everything, but everything that they
there's a point. There is a end point.
Yeah, there's a point where it's like this is taking away from other projects that they could be doing.
Yeah. So,
and you know how good YouTube's going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting that they're sort of integrating that into this.
Well,
where if you're watching someone stream a game, you can go, "Hey, I want to play that right now." Click a button, and then bam, you're playing the game.
The thing is that Google kind of bailed on YouTube gaming a little bit, and now they're doing this.
I mean, it doesn't make sense, really.
Yeah,
if this was down the pipeline, you're like, yeah, let's just keep this afloat until we get this Stadia thing.
Yeah, like they kind of...
Unless they're rebranding it YouTube Stadia, and then it's all gaming.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's really...
But even then, you could have just renamed it when you brought the Stadia thing in, so... It's just weird, all these... Everything about this is weird.
It's very odd.
Yeah. Speaking of E3, we have got confirmation that Bethesda will be at E3 this year.
Woo! Woo!
Yeah. So they put out a YouTube, social media post saying that to save the date, Bethesda E3 is coming on Monday, the June 10th, which will be 10:30 a.m. Australian Standard Time. Thank God. and that I think they're doing registrations to get more people at the actual event.
Mm-hmm.
They want to have more people there. Most interesting point, the hashtag BE3 is in stars, written in stars.
Ooh, stars.
Does that imply that we're going to be seeing Starfield?
Ooh, could.
The
I'm impressed if we see Starfield.
Yeah.
Because what we saw last year was not a thing where I was like, I think it'll be something, but it doesn't mean Starfield's out this year. Which again, then implies that that's not really a Bethesda way of doing shit. So,
yeah.
Yeah,
it seems way too far out for them to...
Yeah,
possibly. Although, Doom Eternal doesn't have a date.
Yeah. The thing is,
And
Doom
Doom's
Eternal
coming...
could be their big game this year. Which I don't know if it is, if it should be. But
other games they got listed as upcoming are Wolfenstein Youngblood and, Doom Eternal.
And also, they have to come out and be like, hey guys, we're really fucking sorry for Fallout 76. We're really sorry.
Well, I don't know. They've got their deal.
I don't
They've
know
got
if
their,
they have to be
their
sorry for
roadmap.
They don't have to be
They've
sorry
got that
for
alopecia or alpaca, whatever the thing name of the thing is that they're doing at the moment.
They just need to come out and save face. Because...
they just need to, take a couple of hits.
They've took their hits.
Make a couple of
They're
jokes.
now shielding themselves with Anthem. Anthem is taking the hits right now. They need to use this time to get ready for this, and continue to grow.
Yeah, how lucky are they that Anthem came out, huh?
Yeah. No, Anthem came out, and they're like, oh, thank God, they've forgot about us. Oh, good.
Yeah. So you don't think... I think there's a chance we could see some Starfield, or at least they could provide the context of what Starfield is.
I don't... Is it the Bethesda way that they're gonna start hyping a game up so far out?
But see, this is the thing. This is a completely new IP, though.
Yeah, I guess
the last couple of years they've had it's been Fallout. Everyone knows what freaking Fallout is.
There's just this soft spot, this golden spot for that time in my life of that Fallout 4 E3 where they just came out and they were like 6 months. It's out this year. Come at us. And it's just I love that Bethesda. And I hope, I don't know, I just don't want to be oversaturated. Just don't go full Hideo Kojima. Don't do this to me.
Yeah.
Bethesda, I'm still a massive fan of you. I didn't play Fallout 76 because I wanted to continue to love you. And
it was alright. I haven't put it in since pretty much the week of launch, but
I still love
I'm sure it's gotten better.
I'm
certain it's gotten better.
I have constant thoughts of randomly playing Skyrim or randomly playing Oblivion. Hurry up with Starfield.
What if they just say, hey, guess what? Elder Scrolls 6.
I would fucking lose my mind.
I know.
If we were on stream, I would get our Twitch channel banned because I would probably take my clothes off. I'd run around. I'd scream a lot. It would. Okay, good. Good to know. It would be a whole thing.
We'll hit up Bethesda, so we know in advance.
Can you just spoil the announcement so our Twitch channel
doesn't get banned? Yeah. The other thing is on the invite they said make sure to refresh Walmart Canada. It's a good joke.
Good on you. Good on you, Walmart.
Right. Speaking of games that come out suddenly, Apex Legends.
What a game.
The success story of this year.
It's
in gaming.
It's been really good.
Easily.
It's been really impressive. Are you still playing? Are you still playing Mad?
I am still playing.
That's
you still playing?
I'm not. Actually, no. I played it the other day.
Yeah.
Before I waited for another game that I'll talk about later.
Yeah.
That I didn't get to end up playing on that time, but I played it for a couple hours. I'm a little disappointed with this thing we're going to talk about, the Battle Pass.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically it is a Battle Pass like Fortnite,
but just not.
Well, pretty much like Fortnite. $11.50 Australian, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
Off the top of my head. Pretty much.
And you get Octane.
You get a bunch of skins. No, you don't get Octane.
You have to buy Octane separately?
You have to get use the coins or use the whatever the red crafting thing is to get Octane. But yeah, you get skins, weapon, banner frames, XP boosts, and other things. You can also earn the full currency, so you don't have to buy a battle pass next season. Yeah. And you can also buy a premium pass, which lets you skip the first 25 battle pass levels.
Yeah.
So why are you disappointed?
I just thought, so what Apex has done so well is looking at all the good stuff that Fortnite's done, making it their own and making it better. But I think Fortnite battle passes are just better than this. Just for overall, not for the different things they're getting, but for the content. I think the skins look kind of boring. Like all the skins.
Well, that's the advantage that Fortnite has, that the skins can just look like anything, so it doesn't really.
Yeah. The skins were kind of boring. I think the level 100 skins are fine. But
they've got some like special Havoc rifle skins where if you kill a certain number of people, it like reacts differently.
Yes. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. So I think
that seems like it's just going to draw attention to you. So I don't know how useful.
Yeah, considering there is a theory in Apex where you have to use like beige or brown colored skins,
like dark colored skins, so nobody notices you.
Easily. Yeah, I'm okay with it. I think they've got plenty of room to grow on that. I've just seen a fair amount of Apex fans that have not been the greatest at like buying into this immediately. Like not, have been a bit, it's okay. It's a battle pass, but we'll keep playing and just buy Octane normally.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to pay. Need to pay for it. I mean, you can still earn rewards during Season 1. I think I probably will drop the $11. I mean, I've been playing it a lot. I think they deserve a bit of my money.
Yeah,
so.
Good on you, actually.
What do you think of Octane, the new
I really
champion?
like him. I think he is very fast-paced.
Yes.
He provides another kind of element to the overall gameplay. I think it's really good that he has abilities that are health-based. I think it's kind of broken that Lifeline's health-based abilities are so good. Like, all of Lifeline's kit is so good in the terms of the game. Like, even just her passive where med packs and heals are quicker for her compared to everybody else. I think that's such a really importantly good skill. So to have him have a passive where he gains health, like just naturally, and that he, even though he does lose health, to use his speed ability, and then also to have an ultimate that kind of
can help anybody.
It kind of makes Pathfinder semi-redundant because Pathfinder just like.
Yeah, no. Well, it depends on what situation.
Depends on the situation.
I mean, if you need to travel a long freaking distance, you'd prefer to have Pathfinder than.
But I think
Octane.
Pathfinder players will prefer to play Octane because of the hitbox difference. Like the character models are so much different. Yeah. And so Octane provides a movement ability.
Oh, they seem like they'd be pretty similar.
Like the problem with and I think they've only just fixed the hitboxes themselves, but the character model for Pathfinder is just very boxy and very I guess robust a bit, where Octane seems a little bit thinner, a little bit more sleek. That I don't know. It looks harder to hit than the Pathfinder one.
Yeah, I know. I think it's pretty cool. I played a game with somebody who played it as Octane. Me and the other teammate died, and he just rushed in with his speed and scooped us up out of recovery packs and then ran away. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it adds an interesting element to the meta, I guess, to the game.
Yes.
Which
I think is interesting with a game starting with only 8 characters and 2 of those characters not being openly available. I think it lends itself to some very interesting changes in its gameplay style when it releases new characters.
Yeah, it definitely it seems like they might be taking their time, maybe just one a season.
Possibly, I think that's the suitable way to go. And their seasons don't have to be extremely long. Like their seasons, as long as they regularly change.
I couldn't see anywhere how long
they normally don't announce how long the seasons are going to be.
I mean, they should, because then I can time how much time I need to commit to get to level 100.
Well, no, Ash, you just need to get there.
No, I just need to give up. Yeah. But yeah, Apex continuing to be good. I think. I mean, sure, the battle pass is very similar to Fortnite, but I don't know how you could possibly improve on that.
I think it's got time. They've just got time to find their groove with skins. I think they can make skins in that art style that are still interesting and good and nice to look at without going the zany route of Fortnite. So I think it's just time for growth for them.
Yeah, they just need to figure out what they can do. Maybe your sparkles on your trail as you're going down.
That's very
thing,
Fortnite,
right?
But yeah,
sure, why not? I haven't got a segue for this one, but Epic Game Store titles are going to be coming to the Humble Bundle store, including exclusives.
Wait, you know what you could have been like, trails on the trails. The trails, after all, do look pretty epic. You know what else is epic? The Epic Store.
I could have made a Fortnite.
Yeah, exactly.
Epic Games' effort to take on Steam have led to the company to partner up with another distribution center to tackle the job. Epic Games has announced that it will partner with Humble Bundle Store to bring titles to both locations. This also includes exclusives, meaning the gamers shouldn't be locked into the Epic Games Store for titles. Epic won't receive revenue for games sold through the Humble Bundle Store. At first, the partnership will launch with keys redeemable at the Epic Store, presumably similar to how keys can be redeemed on Steam. Later, you'll be able to link your Humble Bundle and Epic Store accounts to make direct purchases. This seems like a win for everybody.
Definitely is a win for everybody. I think Epic is making interesting choices. Epic has made... I don't know if you saw the news today or yesterday.
Yeah, well, I've got a list of games...
They've just announced?
That they've just been announced as exclusive on PC to the Epic Store.
Yes.
They are Ancestors, the Humankind Odyssey, the monkey game that we saw back at the Game Awards. Beyond Two Souls and Heavy Rain from Quantic Dream.
All pretty much Quantic Dream's library.
Pretty much everything Quantic Dream's done.
It sounds like Quantic Dream is heavily in bed with Epic Games right now.
Well, Tencent, don't they have a stake in everything?
Maybe. Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
That sounds like something that could be a thing. The Cycle, don't know what that is. Industries of Titan, don't know what that is. Kine, K-A-I-N-E. No, K-I-N-E.
Isn't it written somewhere in front of you that you could have just...
It is.
You didn't look at it. You looked up in the air to spell it, Ash.
Words are not great, okay? And then the other big one, The Outer Worlds, the new Obsidian game.
Which is only a year.
Exclusive.
Only a year exclusive.
Only a year exclusivity.
But that's a lot.
That's a big deal.
That's a big deal considering Tomb Raider. Like the Tomb Raider year exclusivity deals that have killed that franchise. So this is super interesting. And Outer Worlds is a really big one that I'm like, oh shit, okay. And I just low-key hate people that are yelling at Epic for doing this, or people who are annoyed because it's like, why does it matter that much? Like, I understand you want your games in all in one place, but it's all on your PC. It's just a different client.
Well, there's a couple of valid points I've seen that there's some security issues with the Epic Store. People have been locked out of their accounts.
Yeah,
and that sort of
Epic
thing.
in general is not the greatest at security.
Yeah,
They're getting better, but I don't know. But that's the thing, right? Is that nowhere is 100% secure. The only reason you are happy with Steam is because Steam's been there for years and has an established security policy and has just established in general. Epic's just starting. It's just hitting the ground running. It can't just start off small. It has to take big strides to catch up with Steam, but make themselves worth your attention. And overall, I think Epic's doing a really good job. Like, there's a new game coming out for PC in early access at the moment called Satisfactory, which is it's like Minecraft, but you build automating factories. And that was on the Epic Store, and I'm like, oh shit, I guess I'll have to download the Epic Store now. And I think they're doing the right things to get players to come to their market. And let's be honest, Steam had gotten to the point of monopolizing the same as how Microsoft monopolizes PCs, or that Google monopolizes search engines. You know, like Steam had come to that point, and it's now really interesting to have somebody stepping up that's actually going to challenge them and actually going to, you know, do what do some things to make Steam get better. Steam, as we've all discussed recently, has done some really shit things. Yes, Steam is your good old-fashioned pair of boots that you've worn, and these new boots, Epic Games, are kind of got flashing lights on them, and, you know, they're not comfy yet, but, you know, you just get comfortable a bit, and it'll be fine.
Yeah, I think this is smart. Obviously, extending their exclusives over to Humble Bundle, a company that is doing a lot of good charity work.
And people, you know, people love Humble Bundle.
People love Humble Bundle.
You instantly join your name to them and you're getting good karma. Like,
yeah, so it's a win-win, obviously. It gives... I would be interested to see how many people now move exclusive, like get most of the Epic... How much Epic is getting through their store, and then how much people get buying through Humble Bundle to use through the Epic store.
Yeah.
I mean... Because, you know, the people who are angry at Epic are like, yeah, well, I'll stiff you on the game I'm going to buy and play on your whatever it's called.
Yes.
Yeah. So, good news, everybody.
Great
All right,
news.
Let's move on. So let's talk about what we've been playing, or more specifically, what you've been playing. For a change, it's not the game that starts with an O. It ends with a Verwatch.
Well, I've been playing
surprisingly.
Overwatch. I don't stop
No,
playing
we're not talking
Overwatch.
about that.
Let's play other games.
Why don't you give... Last week, Dylan gave his impressions of Division 2. Very short impressions, because I don't believe he played very much. I believe you've played a fair bit.
So I've put in 23 hours into this game.
Jesus.
From Friday through to Monday morning, and I
Didn't even get it early.
Monday, I didn't even get it early.
Didn't even get the collector's one. Yeah.
I started. Well, I wanted to start Thursday at midnight, but my MBN was like, "Yeah, nah, bruh." So I didn't play it then, and then I played 6:30 on Friday night, and I stopped playing at 1:30 Saturday morning. And then I played most of the day on Saturday. I probably would have played more Saturday if
you didn't have to sleep.
No. If I didn't have to do some work. I had to do work. So I had to go to work.
Work and sleep.
I had to work and sleep fucked me there.
The two.
And socializing. I was social that night. Sunday I played a bit, played some D&D, played some Overwatch, played more Division. Monday night hit level 30, so I hit level cap Monday night. This game is so... goddamn good. Like, it is so much fun. I've been playing with a friend of mine on PC, and God, this game's enjoyable. Like, it's just got that... It's got the Ubisoft goodness of, hey, we fill your map with shit to do, go do it. So, even though the map is massive, and even though one of our main missions is down the other side of the map, we wouldn't always fast travel there. We'd be like, well, we can hit up this control point and this hostage and this here and then get there. And we'll do all those things. The level design's really cool. The use of museums, I think, as a non-Division player, if you've been in any kind of gaming community in the last week, you're probably freaking sick of hearing people talk about museums in this game, because... a good variety of these missions the main story missions happen in various real place museums throughout Washington. That
makes sense that there'd be a lot of museums in Washington.
It makes a lot of sense, and a lot of the missions are, you know, in like the National History Museum or the Air and Space Center. But overall, this game does something where I'm just like having a lot of fun with it, and it does the thing where... So I was curious about the end game, where I was like, okay, what everybody's talking about how good end game is, that there's a lot of end game content. So, and I hit 30, and then you have to clear out a fort that you can only do once you're level 30. And once you clear out that fort, I don't know if this is a spoiler, minor spoilers. If you've played the Division, maybe skip ahead a minute. It then flips the map, and everything is there again. that you've done throughout the 30 levels, everything is reset pretty much in a different form that is much harder.
They flip Washington, D.C.?
Well, not literally flip it, but they like...
They're flat earthers?
Well, yeah. Yeah, it's flat. But they literally, like, pretty much hit a reset. They add a whole bunch of new enemy types in. They put all the enemy types throughout the missions that you can replay again. And I went, holy fuck. Like, holy shit. I thought in the 23 hours I'd played, I'd done a fair bit in that game. And I'd played a lot. And that's something really good. That's something you don't normally get in these kind of like these like mid-tier MMO kind of shooters. You know, your Destinies, your Anthems, your Fallout 76. Normally you get to the end game and it's like, all right, we got a couple missions to do and some repetitive shit, but nothing special. And so yeah, now we're at this point where it's called World Tier 1 and the dark zones are just incredibly immersive and scary and spooky. I had a moment in the game with a single side mission that I didn't know if it was a bug or if it was planned, but it honestly fucked with me in my head, and I couldn't play for about 5 minutes after it because it was so messed up, and it gave me Doctor Who vibes because I went into this office and there was, in all these cables was a dead person, and all these the lights turned off and revealed that person, and then a boss showed up, and then halfway through shooting that boss, we were electrocuted and the electrocution wouldn't stop and we couldn't move, and the boss had a gas mask on and he just kept walking slowly towards us in pitch black except for the light on him. And yeah, I was very messed up for the rest of the gaming session. I was like on edge almost, and it was really weird, but the game's so good and so much fun. And if you have friends to play with, play it with them. Play it with them now. If you're looking at this game and you're saying, I'm going to wait for this, I'm going to wait till it drops in price, sorry, you're an idiot. Buy it now. Like, get on this right now. You need to play this. This is one of those games, you need to play it while it's at the peak of its community base and its fan base, because it is so goddamn good. And the interaction where if you are playing alone, you can call for help. People can come into your game and help you and play through the game more. And you can gain friendships out of this. You can, like, the combat's so good. Yes, there's a couple bugs. There's always going to be a couple bugs in these kinds of games. But it's so immersive, and just walking through Washington is so much better than walking through stupid New York. Because New York's a bit oversaturated. New York was very grey. New York's very grey. There was a lot of high buildings. Washington, there's a section of that, but there's lots of like open areas. There's lots of like grass patches or parks to walk through. It's much better. Like it's much more open. The game looks fantastic, and I really am enjoying it. I'm loving the crap out of it. I can't wait to dive into more the Dark Zone. The Dark Zone is just as good as it was probably the most talked about part of the Division 1. In Division 2, the Dark Zone is just as good. There's 3 separate Dark Zones with individual tokens and crates to collect. There's so much to do in this game. You will get so much to do, and it's such a good game just to chill out with your friends, talk trash. You know, you hang out, and you're still completing missions, and you're still communicating in a way that, and I always get a buzz from, any game that makes me feel like I need to communicate with my friend that I'm reloading my gun has got me immersed, has got me invested in the game, because I'm to the point where I'm communicating enemy movements, I'm communicating cooldowns for abilities, and it's so well done. I strongly advise you, if you are on the fence at all about getting this game on whatever console you want to get it on, grab it right now and get involved, because it's so goddamn good. So
what you're telling me is they're all going to leave in a couple of months and there'll be nobody left playing?
No, I don't. I don't think that at all. I think this game has, with how strong the endgame content is, and with the roadmap that will continue to fill out by Massive. I think, Division 1 support, like after launch support, was so goddamn good. So, and I just think this will carry on and grow. I just think playing it now while the most people are looking at it, while there's the peak amount of community players, is the best time to play it. Because, yes, you could go in a couple months' time where there's a bit less of the community and probably still have a very good time. I just don't think you will feel the overall atmosphere and the hype around this game unless you play it now.
Cool. So you're also playing the most recent Devil May Cry 5.
I did.
I want to say.
I did. Devil May Cry 5. Good job, Ash. Good job, Ash.
So many.
It's really nice for a game not to take itself seriously. There's so so many AAA games are so goddamn serious. Just everything about it is just there's so many games that are just, we're talking about the apocalypse and everything is shit and you should feel real sad and here's more sad stuff. Whereas this is just a crazy, wacky slasher beat 'em up game that has great characters, that has wacky combos and weapons for you to use. What other game lets you have a motorbike that breaks down into 2 different weapons for you to use at the same time?
I'm sure there's
probably
Japanese.
something, but it's so good. Like, the soundtrack for this game is so let down by its feature song Devil Trigger. Devil Trigger is so shit. I want to like that song, but I can't.
Is it? Do you think you only hate it because it was played at the Game Awards?
No, like I've tried to listen to it, by itself. Like I've tried to listen to it on Spotify. I've tried to. When I hear it in game, I'm still like, I don't know. The rest of the soundtrack, fucking great. Is so cool. There is a song that plays when you go into the vendor to buy upgrades and buy weapons and items and stuff. That is awesome that I have sat in the menu for longer because I'm listening to that song. Because it's so catchy and just freaking cool. And
wait, there's lyrics?
There's no lyrics, but it's just a soundtrack to it. And it's just...
Okay, yeah.
It's so good and like catchy by like the melody and stuff. And
yeah, okay.
And like... So some of the problems in Devil May Cry is that the gameplay is very much the same, and that you get, but this one's done so well with the 3 different characters that you play as throughout the game. All have, except 2 of them are kind of similar, but they're still broken up enough. 2 of them have similar, more active play styles. One of them has a very different play style that really makes their areas feel a lot fresher. There's a lot more to do in their areas, and okay, by now most people have seen the Michael Jackson video that comes out of Devil May Cry 5, and it's very weird, and it's like the height of zaniness that comes out of that game. And when I got showed that video by a friend, I went, that's photoshopped. That's photoshopped. Like, that's not real. That's like edited. It's fine. And they went, nah, man, I watched this happen on stream. And I went, fuck. And I laughed a lot when it happened in game. The only thing that it suffers from is the pacing of the game. It goes to that traditional movie and TV series thing where it gets to the 3rd act and goes, oh, fuck, let's stuff all this shit in we've got to resolve now. Crap! And kind of rushes its ending a little bit. But I've had so much fun playing it. It's so enjoyable. There's replayability as there are a number of levels. You choose which character you want to play as for the level, and the level will change because of that. But it's nice just to play a wacky zany game. Even if you've never played Devil May Cry before, if it comes out and it's a bit cheaper at some point, pick it up and play it. It's fun. It's just dumb fun that you don't actually have to understand what's happening. You just need to kick in for the ride, chill out, and get in with some Japanese wacky zaniness. Because it's awesome.
Cool. Well, I've seen a lot of high scores. Do you, what sort of... If you had to put a number on it...
Number on it? Like a 9? Maybe a 10?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I have to finish it before I give it a 10. But I think a 9.
Is it the best one in the series? You're a DMC fan, so
yes. No. Yes, I definitely will, because 3 was my favorite out of the mainline Devil May Cry games. I really fucking love the reboot that most people hate. But this is, for me, is better than 3 and better than the reboot. So yes, this is the best Devil May Cry they've ever released. It embodies what Devil May Cry is, of just wacky combos with, by the end of it, you look like you're a badass, but really you're button mashing the shit out of that controller. But it's still so much fun. There's such a variety in gameplay mechanics. I think definitely a 9 or a 10 for me. Cool.
Last thing, is it a good entry point for people?
Yes. As I said,
yeah.
I don't like, if you want to get caught up, there is actually a it's like Capcom understood that people are going to play this that have never played any of the games, because there is a catch-up thing that catches you up with what's happened in Devil May Cry. You don't even have to watch that, because I tried to watch that and went, this is almost some Kingdom Hearts 3 level of craziness. And I don't know if...
Well, I definitely I watched a little bit of your streaming. I definitely got a Kingdom Hearts vibe.
Yeah, definitely. Like,
obviously, small person fighting massive monster.
Yeah, definitely. And there's
screams Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot. There's good difficulty levels. I think definitely jump in and play it. I think if you aren't a fan, I would suggest maybe waiting for it to be in a sale.
Wait on this one.
Like, wait on this one for a sale if you're not a fan. If you're a fan, why the fuck haven't you bought it? If you're a bit, I don't know, I kind of want to jump in and see what's the go. Wait for it to go on sale. Get this game. It's fucking awesome. And yeah, it's really good. But unlike The Division, it's a game that can wait. You can get this later. I was kind of weird that
the beauty of single player games.
Yeah, exactly. I was kind of weird that there's microtransactions in this game.
What?
Yeah, there's microtransactions.
Like for skins or for like progression?
I didn't actually look into it, because it came up with a shop and I was like, what? And so I didn't. I think it's for maybe the currency in the game that you could buy, probably, so you could buy more items and stuff.
Yeah, so progression based,
but
like a Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, like that. But yeah, I found that very weird and obtrusive that it had that. But yeah, other than that, I think this game's like the actual game itself is fantastic.
Alright, joining me now to talk about the Nintendo Nindies Showcase is Dylan Blight.
Hello, hashtag I was right. Dylan was right. Hashtag Dylan was right.
I'm not sure. So we got 16, 18, something like that games announced in their Nindies Showcase, showcasing all these awesome indie games. What were your overall thoughts of the showcase?
I really liked it. For the most part, it was like, I mean, it's just short of half an hour. I liked the hosts that they had there. They went like on forever too long. They were not too funny or not too weird or whatever, introducing stuff. It went along well. They had like shorter moments of like, here's just this thing that's coming, here's this thing. And then they had other moments for certain games like the Red Lantern where they had the developer talking about it at the start and stuff, which I enjoyed, and then they tie it all in at the end, and they're like, hey, and an indie sales on, we love indies, hashtag yay, and then I'm like, yeah, I really enjoyed this. So, yeah, I liked it. I'd probably give it like an 8 or something. I quite enjoyed it. Most of the games, I was like, fuck yeah, I want this. So,
yeah, I agree with that. A lot of good games. I thought it was paced very well, sort of, and there were a couple of jokes by the hosts that were like, groany.
They were too bad though. There's always going to be grainy jokes.
They are fine.
Yeah.
They were asked to do, but I thought it was paced and set out well. So let's just jump into all the different games. Right out of the gate, we get this weird live action milk pouring test or explanation video, and it's Cuphead. The Microsoft exclusive is coming to Switch, which I'm pretty sure I said was going to happen a couple episodes ago. It is coming. Cuphead is coming to Switch, which I think is on one hand a bad move because there's going to be a lot of broken Switches. On the other hand, there's going to be a lot of Switch sales for people having to replace their Switches. So, I guess we weren't super surprised by this, but I guess it is actually happening. Cuphead's coming to
All
Switch.
my dreams. Hashtag come reality. It's right here for Cuphead coming to Switch. The thing you said about breaking is like a legit thing I thought about, because when I never finished it on Xbox. Fuck, the game's too hard. But the amount of times I'd probably like start squeezing my controller without even thinking, just out of like anger. And then I think about trying to play this game in handheld mode and just doing that thing where you just start squeezing, and then next second you fucking your screen cracks or something. I'm like, maybe not the best idea the game to play in handheld, because you could actually end up breaking it. The trailer I really enjoyed. I think obviously I had the fun of it spoiled because I didn't stay up till 3 a.m. to watch it. I woke up next morning, I open up Twitter, first thing I see is Cuphead's coming to Switch. I'm like, oh my god, fuck yeah, that's A, great, and B, fuck you, Ash, fuck you, Sheree. And then
I don't think there's any reason.
Because there's achievements, and that's Xbox Live.
Yeah, we said Xbox Live was coming. We just said the Game Pass is not coming.
It's all coming, all right?
No, it's not.
Sit down in your seat. Sit the fuck down. And then I watched the full Indies thing later. So watching the trailer at the start, as soon as it starts black and white, old timey dude talking about pouring milk and stuff. I'm like, yeah, okay. So this is where the Cuphead announcement is. It's straight out of the gate. So, but if I watched it live, it would have been like, is this? And then when they burst out with the little animated Mugman and Cuphead there, it would have been like, oh, way more exciting. I really enjoyed it though. So it's coming. It's like $29.99. I think I saw in the Switch store today.
April 18th. So really not far away.
Not far away at all. And then as I just said before, they've confirmed that it's going to have a bunch of new. It's having a free content update that's coming to the Xbox version as well, of course, and that's going to drop on the Switch, where you can now choose to play as Mugman, and some animated cutscene stuff is being added, and a couple other things that I forget off the top of my head. But and then also the ability to unlock Xbox achievements while playing the Switch version. So it's it's a wild world we're living in now, and I'll probably pick it up again solely, if not only, to see how that all works. Like, I don't know how much I want to play this game solely because I legit think it's a risk of getting angry and breaking my fucking Switch on the go.
Just play it in a
docked mode.
TV console. Yeah.
But I'll probably, I think I'm keen just to pick it up solely as the first game that has this achievement tie-in stuff, where I can buy it, log into my Microsoft account, and then be like, oh, I've already got these achievements unlocked, and it'll be really weird to unlock an achievement while playing something on your Switch. Yeah, I finally got achievements on my Switch, I guess, for one game.
Well, I guess this also confirms that the Xbox Live is going to be coming in the next month or so.
Yeah. Well, so that would make sense as well. So
they've got to talk at GDC, and after recording, so we don't know too much information about.
Yeah, there's still some other stuff that could happen at GDC, of course. But
not
it's
Game
like
Pass.
I'm still got money. I'll put a small amount of money on Game Pass at this stage. But the other thing that's like annoying, and why Game Pass would make sense and kind of work, is because now that they start adding games to the Switch, if they start adding some more Microsoft exclusives, I see people freaking out. They're like, oh, the Xbox is useless now. Why even you fucking get it? Blah, 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 blah. Like, that's a whole other conversation, but you're wrong. The Xbox is there's still a reason to obviously own the Xbox as well as own a Switch. But if they start bringing over more Microsoft games, Xbox games to Switch, all of a sudden the Switch does get to become a handheld on the go for a lot of the Xbox games. You could play Cuphead on your Xbox at home because you prefer A, the controller for Xbox is better than the Switch Pro controller, and B, it's going to look better because you can play it on your 4K TV, and et cetera, et cetera. And then when you're on the go, you can take the game, and then I'm wondering, like, can I cloud save saves? They're not going to share saves, but I can share achievements, but I can be working on achievements for the same profile across both games. So I just want to know how fluent I can make a Microsoft
ecosystem,
Xbox game. Yeah, I want to know how good the ecosystem's going to be, and I suppose if they're going to talk more about that in the future and announce more stuff potentially about Xbox Live on the Switch and all these sorts of details, they'll hopefully explain what you can and cannot do. But I'm like, if it's on the Switch and it's on the Xbox, can I just download my Xbox Live cloud save to my Switch? Maybe. I don't know how it works technically. So, but the questions I want answered, I guess.
Yeah. So you expect more Xbox games to come to Switch? I mean, everybody's talking about Ori and the Blind Forest, probably.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this
Making
is
the
the
Switch.
floodgate open, so at this stage, there's no reason to say no to anything. I think people could argue, oh, but this was probably Studio what is it?
MDR?
MDR. This was probably them pushing for it, blah, 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 and Microsoft kind of just signed off on it. I'm like, no, Microsoft didn't just sign off on this. Microsoft put a decent chunk of change into this, and the process of having this game come out, they were behind this game, backing it for years as they were continually showing it off at PAXs and events and these sorts of things. So it's not like, they were like, our little game Cuphead, that wasn't one of their, if not their only exclusive last year or the year before. What was it? No, year before. Whenever it was like the only exclusive they had to actually come out or whatever. So they wouldn't, good exclusive, they wouldn't sign away without thinking about it. But yeah, it's like, if this is open, then Ori's open as far as I'm concerned. And if Ori's open, it's like a slow trickle. Then if Ori's open, then I don't know. It's like Sea of Thieves is open. And Sea of Thieves open. Is Forza open? If Forza's open,
I don't think Forza's going to run great on the Switch.
They probably won't. But you know what I mean? Like, it's a slow trickle towards their bigger games, I guess. The more they kind of domino affect it. If you want to start at Cuphead and go up, 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 will they get all the way to Halo? I don't know. But Halo's coming to fucking Steam, so it's not like you can be like, oh no, that's an exclusive that has to stay on the console. Yeah. So I don't know. Interesting world. We'll continue to talk about it, I'm sure, because it's our.
Yeah, Ori and the Blind Forest makes complete sense for them to switch. That seems like it would work well on a Switch. The other one, Rare Replay. That would be a cool thing for them to put over on the Switch. Obviously, with Rare's extensive history with Nintendo.
And would make sense. So.
And then we can get Banjo-Kazooie in Smash.
Oh my god, people would lose their fucking minds.
Yeah. Well, people are going, oh, Cuphead, he's going to be in Smash. That would be pretty cool. I don't know if it would work very well.
I think you could make it work. It would be no different than Game & Watch.
Yeah, that's true.
Similar type character and abilities and design, I suppose, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, let's move into some games that we haven't heard of before. First up was Overland, a squad-based survival RPG, which is a road trip across America. You created by the guy behind Cannabolt, the running game where you just touch and jumps, on mobile devices. I think this is pretty cool. It seems to be like some sort of tactical survival end of the world thing where you just go through some different scenarios and sort of turn-based and everything.
I wasn't exactly sure how the combat played out. It did look like some sort of RTS type stuff, though, I guess, which was what was happening. But I thought that the art style looked cool and the apocalyptic type stuff of it looked cool and whatever else. And it's the type of game that works well on Switch, especially, on the go in handheld. So, yeah, I'm intrigued. I wasn't, blown away, but it also had a doggo in it, so it got a plus 2 points.
You need to save the doggo.
Yeah. There's lots of doggos in the direct, actually. So, yeah.
And one of the characters was Tall Dylan, so, he's going to die pretty quick.
Yeah, which I took a screenshot of because I was like, the way they angled it, it made it look like the character name was over the bin and the bin's name was Dylan. And that's why I tweeted it. I was like, I feel fucking attacked because the trailer starts like that. It's like within the first 20 seconds or so. It's like the first time you see Dylan, it looks like it's the character name of a bin until they come back to that footage later and show the character move away. And it's like, oh no, it's that character's name. But when I saw it, I'm like, wait, there's a bin named Dylan?
All right. Next up was My Friend Pedro, the Devolver action game where you run around shooting stuff, doing crazy flips, and apparently there's a talking banana.
I wrote down, I never played this on PC, so putting on the Switch basically. It's like the old school Vita. I mean, look, that's the thing these days. The Switch is the indie on the go machine. The Vita is obviously dead, but it's like the old school days of heyday of Vita where I'd be like, oh yeah, I could be fuck playing that on my PC, but if you put it on my Vita, all of a sudden the chances of me playing it increase tenfold sort of thing. So Pedro is much the same. Where I always thought it looked intriguing. You put it on a Switch now. All right, cool. My chances of playing it now have increased quite highly. You got talking banana. You flip around, do a bunch of Matrix moves, kill people. Sure.
Yeah, it looks pretty
Devolver.
cool.
There you go.
They're good people over there at Devolver. Yeah, there's console exclusive, so only going to be on the Switch, coming in June. Then we got NeoCab, which looks like a futuristic game, visual novel. I think would be probably the best genre to nail it down to, where you pretty much drive around in a cab trying to find your sister in an omnipresent police force state, and you're trying to keep your customers happy, but still trying to find out information about your sister or whatever. Try and find her.
I'm strangely
really cool.
all over this.
Yeah.
I was watching this, and at first I'm like, what is this? It's like a fucking weird ass Uber simulator game you want me to play. But as the trailer progressed and stuff, I was suddenly like, I really want to play this. All of a sudden, for some weird reason, it kind of looked cool. I like the idea of interacting with all these different characters, and having different settings for trying to keep everyone happy while trying to get information and get around. And then at the end, they tease if you fuck up too much, basically the guards of the city or whatever will come down on you, and you're like the last human or something in the city. Everyone else is cyborgs or something along those lines, is what I gathered.
Yeah.
Or modified or something. Yeah, no, I thought it looked really intriguing for an Uber simulator.
Yeah. I mean, it's just going to rely on its story and obviously its soundtrack and everything, I guess. So
yeah.
If you're into those kind of things. Next up, we got Red Lantern from Timberline Studios, where you pretty much play as a little woman who's trying to compete in the Iditarod, which is a big dog racing
thing
race competition. Yeah, and you have a bunch of dogs. Apparently, it's more survival. You hunt and stuff as well, but in the trailer you see a bear murder a bunch of dogs. It's not fun.
That was nasty. This was probably my game of the show. This is my game of the thing, I think.
Yeah.
Well, it's like it
was easily the best trailer.
Yeah, it was a really, really great trailer with really great VO and
Ashley
like
Birch.
it was written well and pieced together well and all these sorts of things. And yeah, I just like the way it looked. I like the premise. It doesn't remind me of anything I've played before.
A little bit of Firewatch. Or maybe that's just the VO thing though.
Maybe the VO thing. But I mean, a game where you're getting around on the back of a ski thing led by a bunch of Alaskan
No, I
dogs.
haven't seen that before.
No, I haven't seen that before. I haven't seen that before. And they didn't go too much in the gameplay, but it was like it's procedurally generated in some fashion. You got to go around, do tasks, survive, train, etc. I don't know what how you reach the end game kind of goal, I guess, of winning the thing and how that's going to go about it and how much.
It's about finishing.
I suppose that's true. But yeah, it looked like a narrative-driven thing in combination with a procedurally generated sort of gameplay structure with lots of elements of stuff I haven't really seen before. I got a bunch of doggos that I want to protect from the nasty bears. So yeah, I thought this was the best game and moment of the show for me personally. It was a really well put together trailer and everything, and by the end of it I was like, yeah, I want this now, please give me, thank you. I'm in.
Yeah, it definitely probably the most evocative and emotional trailer, and probably.
And it was a new studio as well.
Yeah.
That Timberland Games or something.
Timberline.
Timberline Games or something. Yeah. So the new studio, new game. Cool. I'm down.
Cool. Next up, we had Darkwood, which is a top-down survival horror game where you sort of scavenge and roam the world, and then during the day, and then you hunker down in your hideout and sort of try and survive. I guess you can sort of you can loot stuff and sort of build little traps and stuff, I guess, to protect yourself. But yeah, not my type of game, but looks interesting, different take on It
Came out on Steam a couple of years
Yeah.
ago. I remember seeing it then, and I think I had it on my wish list at one stage, but then a year or two passed or whatever, and I kind of stopped caring. But once again, it's on the Switch. My chances of playing it probably increased now, so
yeah.
maybe. It's probably the least interesting of the show to me, though. If I had to pick one game that was the most meh, this would be it. Not because the game is meh. I have no opinion. I haven't played it, but just if I'm ranking announcements and stuff, this is probably at the bottom for me.
Yeah. Then we had Katana Zero, which is a stylish neo-noir action platformer featuring the breathtaking action and instant death combat / dash and manipulate time to unravel your past in a beautifully brutal acrobatic display. Looks like the thing that came to mind when I watched this was Celeste. Like, not from like a story or music standpoint, just the action sort of getting through each level, and then if you die, you just go back straight to the start level really quick. So, yeah.
As bad as it is to keep comparing Devolver Digital games to their kind of shining dark, I reminded
Shining
me of
duck?
I don't know. It reminded me of Hotline Miami, only because like obviously they're different. That's a like top down or whatever anthropomorphic. This is like a side scrolling type thing, but the element of walking into a room and kind of having to remember what to do and get a rhythm down of what to do.
Yeah.
You know, like walk in, someone's going to shoot a bullet at you, activate slow mode, hit their bullet back at them, jump on top of this guy, leap up this thing. Oh shit, I died. Rewind. All right, do it again. Activate slow mode, hit the bullet. You know, so it in that fashion, it kind of reminded me of Hotline, of just the rhythmic die, repeat, try and get the actions down the right way they have to go. It looked cool though. I wasn't sure about the whole. The other part they talked about was at the end of each level, go have therapy. I was like, what? Okay, sure.
I don't know. Yeah, I think it's probably just a story point more than you actually having to do therapy. Although that'd be cool. That'd be interesting.
Free therapy. The cheapest therapy you can get. $20 game.
Tell me about your feelings.
Yeah.
Next up, we had Double Fine's new game, Rad, which is a third-person top-down action game where you play as a young boy who battles through a procedurally generated post-apocalypse by adopting mutant powers. In my notes, I just wrote, what the fuck? Because they just have random-ass mutant powers. Giant arms coming out of nowhere, laying eggs, spider head eggs. It looks weird and wacky and sort of Double Fine-y, I guess.
Yeah. I was down from the moment. They were like, the guy, I can't remember his name, the guy who came on and introduced it, who was behind Stacking, which is probably one of my favorite random indie games I really, really love. And yeah, Double Fine has this thing though where they kind of just do game jams within their own studio and then eventually kind of everyone piles onto one idea and that's how they end up making games most of the time, from what I gather. For a lot of these smaller ones and stuff. So this is what that seems like. They had a game jam or something, and then someone was like, here's this thing, you got random mutant powers and stuff, and then everyone was like, this is actually kind of cool. Let's make this into a fully fledged game. But yeah, it looks interesting. It looks fun. It's just like a beat 'em up, I guess, in an extent. You're just doing whatever, and you're breathing life back into the world because you're rad, and you got radical powers, man, and lots of 80s references, I'm sure, and soundtrack and whatever else. So yeah,
seems like he was trying to revive the nature or whatever, because everywhere he walked,
grass would come up and stuff, flowers and stuff. Yeah.
So whether every level you just have to make nature everywhere. It's like
Flower, the game, but like with some violence this time.
Yeah, with some beating stuff up.
Yeah.
What was that? Next up, we had Creature in the Well, which is a top-down pinball-inspired hack-and-slash dungeon crawler. As the last remaining bot, see you in an adventure deep into a desert mountain to restore power to an ancient facility haunted by a desperate creature. Uncover and upgrade powerful gear in order to save the city of Mirage from a deadly sandstorm. I guess it looks interesting. I mean, the premise is kind of hard to wrap your mind around, but it seems like things burst out energy things and you sort of whack them like a pinball trigger, I guess, is the premise. I mean, it looked interesting.
Yeah. I thought it looked interesting. I liked the kind of minimalistic art style that I guess it had going for it. I thought that was interesting. And then it just had me thinking about Yoku's Island Express. Is that what it's called, I think? Which I haven't played yet, but of course a lot of people were talking about last year. And that was like some weird Metroidvania cross with a pinball game. And now this year it's like, hey, here's a pinball game pressed with a top-down sort of action game. I don't know. I'm like, what is this hybrid pinball games coming from? So suddenly it's becoming its own genre, the pinball cross genre.
Yeah. Next up we had Bloodroots, which pretty much looks like a Western Hotline Miami with interactive environments, I guess. It's the easiest way to describe it. Pretty much just have to kill everybody in the level and then you move on. Yeah.
Seems like it could be fun. I didn't get much from it. I was like, at first I thought it was a swashbuckling pirate game, and then I was like, oh, it's a Western, so now it's a swashbuckling Western, because the character looked like a pirate at one stage to me, and then all of a sudden it was in a Western time. Yeah.
I guess with the wolf head thing, I guess you could say he was a pirate. Looks more like a Viking, but I guess closer inspection is more like a lumberjacky sort of character.
Let's not judge.
Yeah. You be you, Mr. Wolf. Then we had Pine, which was like I wrote down Breath of the Wild knockoff. With weird animal human hybrids, giant deer peoples and crocodile peoples, and fox peoples.
I thought the introduction trailer thing was kind of cool because they come down, it's like some kid or whatever, chilling with some animals, and then some of the animals start fighting, and then he's like, oh, fuck yous up. I'll throw my spear down. I'm the king of the world. Better do what I need to do or something. But then when it got to the actual gameplay, I'm like, oh, this looks bland. This doesn't look that great, does it? He starts swinging a sword at an enemy or something, and I'm like, oh, that doesn't look too great animation-wise and stuff. But then they talked a bit about the gameplay and, you know, finding elements, bringing them back, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, the gameplay loop could be fun, I guess, but just looking at it, it doesn't look super exciting, of course. It wasn't the best looking game shown of the evening, that's for sure.
No.
But I won't hold my judgment. You know, it could be fun. I don't know.
Yep. Then we had a couple of games from Vlambeer. We had Super Crate Box, which seems to be like an arcadey sort of shooter game. Kind of looks like, you know, in Mario All-Stars, you got that level where you can do multiplayer, like with the shells and stuff. No? It's not ringing a bell?
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah.
I guess more recently it looks like kind of like Towerfall or whatever. So just going around multiplayer.
Well, I mean, I don't remember when Super Crate Box came out. I'm probably could find out, but
2010.
It's well, there you go. Steam, I was about to say I'm pretty sure it's fucking old. So
yeah.
And then Nuclear Throne, the next one, is also like quite
Nuclear
old.
Throne's pretty old. A top-down roguelike. Mutants.
2015.
Yeah. So that's been out a while. That's coming to Switch. Came to Switch.
It's out now.
It's out now. Yeah. And then they also announced Vlambeer Arcade, which is going to be like a anthology series, like a pack, where you just buy it and then the new games will get added to it, is what I believe.
I gathered. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my understanding. The first game is called Arcade Ultra Bugs, and it looks like some sort of like kind of puzzle game, kind of. You just sort of match up and blow up bugs in a hexagonal pattern. I don't know. It looked kind of weird and
something like that. I think is what it was. Yeah.
I mean, it's an interesting concept to have this pack. I guess that they're going to just throw games into. I guess.
Yeah. I think out of the three of them, Nuclear Throne is the most people. I know people have been asking for that game, like hashtagging for that game to come to Switch for quite some time now, and it's a really popular game. So that's good. The arcade thing as an idea is cool, I guess, if that's really how it's going to work. You know, like buy it and then we'll just chuck some random games we come up with in there, arcade games that maybe they fuck around with, I guess. But that first one, I was like, doesn't really do anything for me, and Super Crate doesn't really do anything for me either. The only one I would really want to pick up is Nuclear Throne, which I might pick up. So
yeah, because you can right now.
You can. It's like $20, I think, as well. So.
Yeah, that's not bad. Next up was Swim Sanity. I think I said it right. In a multiplayer underwater it's a multiplayer underwater shooter with action-packed co-op and versus modes, all supported on online and local play. You can play as our hero Mooba, who uses a variety of unique power-ups and weapons to survive in this aquatic world. It pretty much looks like underwater Contra as well.
Yeah, I'm out on this one. I hate underwater levels. You want to make a whole game out of it?
Yeah.
I'm done. No.
No? Okay. I mean, it's sort of like a space. It could be space if you think about it that way.
Nah, that's underwater though. Okay,
Yeah.
that's the worst.
Okay. Then we had Blaster Master 02.
2. Yep.
Don't know anything about Blaster Master Zero. It seems to be some sort of shooter thing with like tiny tanks and
It looks like a Mega Man type
yeah,
parody thing or something. I'm not even sure. But I was like, sure, this is a game that exists with a funny title, 02.
yeah.
Yeah. Go make games with the Kingdom Hearts people. You'll work out well over there.
Yeah, so that's coming to Switch. Then we had Stranger Things 3, which we saw back at the Game Awards. Shown a little bit more gameplay, but it seems to be not too much information, I guess. Biggest point is it's dropping July 4th, the same day as Stranger Things 3 is actually coming out. So after you binge watch season, you can go through and play this, or I guess you could play this and then watch Stranger Things 3, but it sounds like the story is going to be it's just going to be a adaptation.
Yeah, that's my problem. I'm
story.
like, what is the story? Like, how much could you potentially spoil the season for you? Is it just kind of one of those? Is it not the story? Is it a half-assed version of the story? I'm very confused about how exactly. That's why I found it weird when they announced it at the Game Awards. They're like, "Hey, Stranger Things 3, get excited for this game." I'm like, I don't know anything about the third season of the show yet. Like, why am I supposed to be getting? Like, how are you? I don't know. I'll play it though. I mean, it's Stranger Things. I like Stranger Things fine. It's a, just a beat 'em up. Sure, I'll play it.
Yeah. It's got an interesting art style, sort of adapting isometric style. Seem to be like puzzle elements, and apparently you're playing as a bunch of 12 something characters. I don't even think there's like 12 characters in Stranger Things. But
I don't know. I played the mobile one that they put out 2 years ago, whenever it was. That one was fine, but it was also way longer than I thought it would be because it was free, and I downloaded it. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll fucking play this before the second season drops. So no worries, because it went through the story of the first game in it. And then like hours and hours later, I'm like, holy shit, this game's still fucking going. Oh my God. But that was like a combination of beat 'em up stuff with some puzzles and stuff. This game just looks more like a beat 'em up though. They didn't really I didn't see any of the puzzle elements that I saw in the
there was like a couple of
switches
and that sort of stuff, but
nothing too
yeah. Well, maybe they're saving the elaborate stuff. Yeah. Which implies this them having a game of Stranger Things 3 implies that there's going to be more action in Stranger Things Season 3. Which, yeah.
Maybe.
If you've got enough action in it to justify a video game. Seems weird. It's weird because this was meant to be a Telltale game. You think about it.
No, that was supposed to be something different, I believe.
Yeah?
I'm pretty sure they were making like a typical Telltale game style thing for Stranger Things. Was what they was going to be doing.
I guess. It's weird that we're back in the age of tie-ins.
I mean, I'll take it. I do miss some sort of tie-ins for, big movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Because even though those games weren't always good, they were still just like 6 out of 10s, but I enjoyed them often because you got a chance to play as the superheroes or whatever. Just, it's like 8 hours, 6 hours, just, it's kind of crappy, but fun at the same time. So if I watch Stranger Things, and especially if I love the season, then I could see myself being like, yeah, I want a little bit more time with these world and characters right now. Here, give me the game. Give me the game. Let me see how I go.
Yeah. And then to finish off the show, they built it up interestingly. We've got Cadence of Hyrule, Crypt of the Necrodancer featuring The Legend of Zelda. Yes, that is
Don't
the
know
full
how much
title.
that's the actual title, but
I think everyone's just going to call it Cadence of Hyrule.
I think
It
so,
is the sequel to Crypt of the Necrodancer, apparently, where it's like a continuation spin-off with Zelda and Link in it. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Clearly, Nintendo's sort of being more open to IP being used in other different things. Obviously, Star Fox is over in Starlink. They've chucked all their Mario people in Rabbids. Now they've teamed up with this indie team to make Crypt of the Necrodancer sequel. Did you play Crypt of the Necrodancer?
I haven't. I've watched like let's plays and stuff before, and it's been on my radar for quite some time, but I've just never kind of pulled the plug. I don't know. Is it on anything that's not PC? Not that I can think of. But on PC, it's got the whole
PS4.
I don't know.
I feel like it is.
I know that on PC, for example, it had this whole thing because you could like add in your own music and whatever else. So that was a thing when it released that people were like, oh, that's a good feature right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have no great attachment other than knowing what the gameplay is and stuff. But when this was a fucking fantastic trailer.
Yeah.
Is what I'll call
Built
it.
perfectly.
Because it's like it starts and I'm like, okay, Crypt of Necrodancer, sure. It's coming to Switch, I guess. And then my mind was like, isn't it already on the Switch? And then I'm doing like a lot of back and forth in my mind while I'm still watching the trailer. Like, I swear it was already on Switch. Maybe it's not. All right, maybe they're doing like a remastered version. You know, these sorts of thoughts going through my head. And then all of a sudden it's like, blah, blah, and going through the world. And then all of a sudden the Zelda music starts kicking in. And that's why I was like, oh, it's like, I was like, oh, shit. Okay, I get where we're going now. And then, of course, they showed Zelda and Link and stuff. And I was like, oh, yeah, this is a crossover that makes sense, so I can get behind.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a game everybody's going to be really interested in. I think I saw Bryce from House of Mario going gaga over it, saying it's the best Zelda possible spin-off or possible game. It was a bit hyperbolic, but... it's interesting. This opens up a world of possibilities of Nintendo working with indie studios to possibly use their IPs, stuff that isn't maybe... Well, Zelda's probably a huge franchise, but maybe some of their IPs that aren't being used could be picked up or worked on by some small studios.
It's like a slow... I feel... And you could probably point out other examples that I can't think of off the top of my head, but it's like... It starts years ago when they do Hyrule Warriors. They're like, hey, go put Zelda... Well, go put Link in what are those games called?
Whatever they're called.
Yeah, go put Zelda. Take Zelda, put Link and Zelda in that game because I think they're both in it. Maybe some other characters. I don't know. I never played it. Anyway, that was a thing that they let them do, and everyone was like, "Oh, this is an interesting crossover." Blah 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 blah. And of course, we get like the Mario Rabbids thing. It's like, "Hey, Ubisoft, here, have a go at this. Stick Mario in here." But they of course were big
studios with
developers and studios and stuff. Yeah. And now this is, hey,
team that's made one game.
Team that's made one game. I think like probably a couple of people from what I would assume. Have Zelda.
Yeah,
they've made other games apparently, but none that we've heard of. So it does matter, but it doesn't matter for this episode, nonetheless. Have the Zelda license and go for gold. So yeah, it's interesting to see what that means for Nintendo and stuff. And Nintendo kind of continuously gets better and better at being more open with their licenses and stuff. And even in outside the gaming world, of course, it's like you got the Pokemon movie coming out. What they kind of let that go somewhat to this American, hands kind of take the reins on this and do what you need to do to make the Pokemon thing into a
and then they teamed up
stuff,
with Niantic, obviously, with Pokemon Go.
Yeah, Pokemon Go and stuff, and they put out these mobile games like Mario Run and whatever else now. It's like you kind of look at Nintendo over the last couple of years, 5 years or so, I guess, and it's like they're slowly just being more and more open to ideas and new things, I guess.
Like,
so.
it makes sense because obviously game development takes so long that they can't themselves put out enough of everything or utilize their IP to the most of the potential. So get some other studios to work on their different things. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's like, that's kind of one of the problems is everyone kind of buys Nintendo consoles alongside their other consoles to play Nintendo games, and you'll get maybe 1 or 2 a year kind of thing, and then you'll get 1 Zelda per life cycle of a console or something like that. But now we're going to get this, if you want to count it as a Zelda game, which, count it as a Zelda game. You're going to have Breath of the Wild. You're going to have the remake. Yeah. And then whatever else potentially is happening.
Who knows what else? You'd assume they'd do another original 2D top-down.
I wouldn't be surprised if by the time the end of Switch's life cycle, you've had more than one of those remake type things come out. Especially if it's a success.
Yeah.
So, interesting times.
Yep.
I'm down for this. I like it, though. I don't know. I can't see myself going to play Crypt and Necrodancer just because, but obviously having the Zelda license is more of a pull than...
Just original IP,
Yeah. I'm a sucker.
Yeah. So that's the Spring Nindies. Well, I guess they called it Spring, even though it's autumn over here. But the Nindies Showcase, another good one. Probably
Equinox Showcase.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us on The Couch this week. Make sure to check out explosionnetwork.com for all our other shows, reviews, news, articles, and more. You can rate Arcade Couch on Apple Podcasts or on Podchaser, or just tell people about the show. It helps. Share it on social media. Tell your friends. When Stadia has some sort of friends matchmaking system, tell people about it on that. You can follow Explosion Network on Twitter at ExplosionPod, and be sure to join our Discord at explosionnetwork.com/Discord. You can follow me on Twitter at Ashley Hobley, ASHLEY. You can follow Kieran on Twitter at your boy Ringo, and you can follow Dylan on Twitter at VivaLadil, VIVALADIL. Alright, thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you here next week. Same time, same couch.
Wait, Ashley, where'd Dylan go? I just came back from getting a drink.
Oh, you just missed him, man.
What?
How long does it take you to get a drink?
Like 40 minutes, maybe? I don't know. I had to wait for the
30.
kettle. I had to catch the tea bags. There was a whole lot of things happen.
Well, he had to go. You know, he's a busy man. Much requested. He's doing all these podcasts, even podcasts for other places. It's crazy. He's going to love that. I'm, of course, referring to some assembly required.